Hello, everybody. Good evening and welcome to your Sunday evening service. Yes, Crystal, we have a caravan at San Lamia, which is just 5 minutes from Withering. Hello, Jean. Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm on my phone because my laptop's not working and my iPad's just saying I'm not into StreamYard or something.
Oh, what have you done to it?
I haven't. I think, you know, when we put at Caravan, when I put my Netflix on,
Yes.
And I said it's not showing something else up, I think it's probably touched something on there. So I can't get on there, so I can't see any writing because it's too little even with my glasses on.
Oh, okay. No problem. Irene is fine, Anne-Marie. She has a service in Staveley tonight. Sorry, I just had to think then it went out. And yes, she's in Staveley. She was going to be at the wrong place because she was going to Harley's Bar, and it's not there anymore. They've moved. So yeah, but that's where Irene is. Hello, Father. I've just seen Father Drain. Yes, Father Drain. Hello. So yes, it's been. I've had a busy morning. I've been to Derby to do a church service at 10:30 this morning. Then I went to see some strange person who,
Sorry, 2 minutes, Tony. I've got a black screen on my iPad, so just 2 minutes. I'm going to leave you off my phone and see if you can pick me up on my iPad.
Okay. Yeah. Yes, I did see Matthew stay please about the crow. Gave him a present. It left him a present of a bone or something. So, yes. Daddy M is in the background. He is commenting. I've seen a couple of his comments go up already. So while Jean's doing that, if I start the evening with a prayer, and then I might start tap dancing or something, because, otherwise I'm sat here by myself. But so could we join together, please, and blend our energies in the silence? Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, I thank you for the privilege of allowing us to gather together in your name tonight across the internet. Father, I hope that people who are watching and people who will watch in the future receive some small token of comfort from tonight's proceedings. May I ask that the veil be lifted between the two realms to allow the guides and inspirers for Jean and myself to step forward to support and inspire us through this short service. And Father, I promise that at the end of this evening, everything will be handed back to you with love, with honour and glory. Amen. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I'm still on my phone. It won't work. I'm still on my phone. At least I'm here.
You are. I told you Michael was in the background, didn't I? They will be pimping me out for the Rainbow Project again in future. What he means is I will be doing one-to-one readings with either myself or Jean and myself or Irene, Jean and myself for a donation of your choice to the Rainbow Project. And if you don't want to give to the Rainbow Project, to a charity of your choice. So, and Reverend Pippin is curled up in a basket asleep at the moment. I think
I've got Tozzy on the bed with me.
Have you? Oh, bless him.
Yeah.
I love
Come
Ozzy.
to give me company.
Jump straight on my knee. And Sophie's been to Truckfest. I was at Truckfest once, a good few years ago now. I think that was everything I wanted to pick up from in the comments I'd seen up to now. As we have no Irene, we don't have a poem, so I do apologise. I can do a quick, tap dance or, yes.
Can I just apologise to everyone? Good evening, everybody, but I cannot see who's on screen or anything. So, good evening, everyone. I'm having technical issues.
Yeah, we will have to sort that out. We did enjoy Pride last week. It was absolutely amazing. Really good fun. In fact, there is somebody lurking backstage who's doing the backstage stuff at the moment. And she can come and tell you about Pride as well. Can't you, Claire?
Oh, you devil.
This is my friend Claire.
Hi, Claire.
Hello.
She works with the Rainbow Project for us. And we all went to Pride last week, didn't we?
Yeah.
And it was amazing fun.
Great fun, yes.
It was, yes. Wigs galore. Galore. That's all I'm going to say.
It was great fun, yeah. Makeup everywhere, wigs everywhere, and yep, it was good.
Drag queens everywhere.
Yeah.
What can you say? And some of them you think, that's nearly indecent, darling. Yeah, I'm thinking particularly the blonde in the yellow leotard.
Yeah, just everything covered.
Yeah, I thought she was flossing, but anyway.
Yeah.
Jean, I have to go on Tony's Facebook page and join the link that way, as when I join the link, I can never see the comments Suzanne says. Okay. So yes, that I've lost the comment that I've got highlighted on there. Never mind.
No.
Can I see pics of you and Daddy Take the Pride, please? They're on Facebook page, I think.
Yep, they're on your
I think there is
Facebook
one on the
page.
Facebook page, Anne-Marie. So,
Yep, they are.
but anyway, Claire, I will let you go backstage and do the backstagey stuff.
Right.
See you later, darling. Bye.
Bye.
So, okay. Oh, you've seen some of Michael, but not me. Anne-Marie Cover says she's seen pictures of Michael, but not me. But I will.
You can't really see you, Tony.
I'll find
It is
one.
mainly Michael.
There is a lot of Michael, but Michael doesn't normally get his photo taken, so that's yeah. Oh, but anyway, there we are. That's everything. Yeah, as I was saying before, I was at Derby this morning, did a service at 10:30. Then I went to visit this old lady who needs company, and we had a cup of coffee with her and her daughter. I'm going to get
I'm
a
not
slap.
an old lady. Yes, you are. I'm not old yet.
Oh dear. But no, I had a busy day. I'm really tired, but we will get sorted. And Michael was flying yesterday. Michael wasn't flying. No, that's not strictly true. He didn't
He
flap
was a
his wings.
passenger.
He was a passenger in a Cessna aeroplane with our friend Nathan, who's passed his private pilot's license and is trying for his commercial private pilot's license. So, yeah, it'll be. He really enjoyed it.
Tony, can I just ask, or you please for me, for our daughter? Because I've just spoken to her and she's gone downhill again.
Oh, she hasn't, has she? Oh,
Yeah.
bless. Yes, we are going to move
So
on.
could you ask for both, please?
Yes. We are moving on to the healing part of the service, when the dog stops barking. Horace! I'll be 2 seconds. I'll just get him in. Sorry, everybody. Rossi, come in. Come on.
Could I ask personally, please, because my sister went into hospital because she had a fall. She's been in 5 weeks now, and she contacted COVID while she was in the hospital, and now she's deteriorating, and they don't think she's going to pull through.
Yeah.
And my auntie in Leeds has only got a matter of weeks with her.
Yeah. So we want to send healing to Dot and to Winnie.
Thank you.
In abundance. So if you can hold them in your thoughts as well. Oh, sorry, I'm ahead of myself. So if you could hold them in your thoughts, please, while we do the healing prayer and the healing moment. Send out thoughts for anybody you know who needs healing, to any animals you know that are sick and poorly. Don't forget to ask for yourself as well, which is what I'll be saying to Jean, because she has got a lot to cope with and she needs to ask for the healing energies for herself as well. As always, the healing moment will start with the healing prayer, then we'll have the candles, and it'll finish when we say Amen. So, friends, Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, here we bring unto thee all those in our and all healing books, that it may please thee to heal them, be they suffering in mind, in body, or in spirit. We ask, Lord, for those we know, those we do not know, and those who have no one to ask for them, we ask for them now. Amen. Bless you. Thank you, everybody. As we always say, we never claim that spiritual healing is a cure, but it does really work. It really supports and it really helps. So let's see what Spirit wants us to do tonight. Because as it stands, I've got no connection yet. So
And I can't say I have because my head's everywhere at minute. So I haven't.
It will be, Jean Love, it will be. So if anybody has any questions, anything they want us to talk about, anything they want to know about anything in general, then please ask while we try and get a link. But I spotted something the other day that I thought was really good. It was it was just a few lines on a piece of card somewhere, and it was something along the lines, let me see if I can get this right. It was about putting your hand into a bucket and swirling it around and making a hole, a vortex, and taking your hand out. And after a while, look at the water for a few minutes, and the hole that's left after 10 minutes is how much you'll be missed on the world. And it was really good because it's virtually saying that because, you know, you swirl your hand around in water and it makes that big hole, and the hole fills up. And so you are missed for a while, and then slowly and slowly and slowly it goes up. Oh, okay. Paul, do you mean spiritualists mention God but
not mention Jesus?
Yeah, I think that's what you're saying. Why don't spirits ever mention God?
Mention God, but mentions Jesus. It's funny because it's that tiny and I've even got my reading glasses on. I'm just hoping that's what it says.
It says, why don't spirits ever mention God but mention Jesus? But spiritualist, SNU spiritualist churches, it's the other way around, isn't it? They'll mention God, but they don't mention
They do
Jesus.
mention God, yeah. Our Father God. I've heard you say our Father God, yeah.
The fatherhood of God, yeah.
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 You'd be better answering this.
Right. Spiritualist national unions churches won't mention Jesus because they don't believe that Jesus was the Son of God. They believe he was a medium. But that's not what we as Christian spiritualists believe, because we believe we have 8 principles. We have the 7 main principles of spiritualism, plus we believe in the teachings of Jesus Christ. Spirits themselves, you see, Paul, I've heard spirits mention God.
I have. I've done it.
Yeah. So when I've communicated with spirits, they have mentioned God and they've mentioned Jesus, both. So I suppose it depends in what context you're talking to them. If you're talking to them through a spirit box, it depends which, it depends how you're asking, what you're reaching out for. But Lynn will have mentioned Jesus, but she would also mention God, I would imagine, because she'll be aware of both up there. Up there? No, that's wrong. I don't mean up there. I mean over there.
I know what you're on about, love.
I know. It's been a long day and I'm tired.
It's just one of them difficult questions, isn't it? Because
yeah,
it's how you see and how you interpret it. Because what, like we were talking once, Tony, what does it say that Jesus Christ rose again, talked to his disciples and passed on messages, and he become an healer?
Yeah.
And that's what we all believe. So that's what Jesus Christ did.
Yeah.
He rose, they crucified him, he spoke to his disciples, and he
Yeah.
asked them to pass on the word. So
Yeah.
yeah,
He
in one
said
sense
that.
he is mentioned.
Yeah.
It's just different people in different places how they say things.
But spirit themselves, I've heard them mention both.
Yeah.
I've heard spirits
have.
come through talking about God and spirits talking
Jesus.
about Jesus. Jean, don't, because I'll be on the floor in a minute.
I'm sorry. Do you know what it is? It's because I didn't sleep. I'm just waiting for that phone to ring either for Auntie Winnie or our dot, and so I'm not sleeping.
That's fine. Oh, Paul, don't worry. There's no such thing as a difficult question, really. It's just how to answer
How to
it.
word it. Yeah, it's how to word it and answer it, yeah.
Paul, that's absolutely fine that you've only heard them mention Jesus, because that's what we want to come through and talk to you about at this moment in time, because it may be that you're Michael, don't jump ahead in the questions.
I'd just like to thank Paul for this, because I think it's one of them questions now that I'll be listening for. So I'd like to thank you, Paul, for asking that, because I think it's going to draw me attention now to listen more out for it.
Yeah, exactly, because as it happens, I'm saying I've heard them mention both, but in the back of your mind when you're thinking, have I?
I'm going to listen now. I'm going to listen.
It's really tricky, but yes, I will listen out for it. It's brilliant.
I'm going to. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a good question.
And yes, Michael has just laid out the 7 principles of spiritualism, which I was going to answer straight after I'd finished answering Paul's question. But there we go. But he's done it. But no, yes, in all seriousness, the 7 main principles of spiritualism are, as Michael says, the fatherhood of God, the brotherhood of man, although some people would say the brotherhood of humankind, because we encompass men, women, and anybody on the spectrum in between those two things. The communion of spirits and ministry of angels, the continuous existence of the human soul, although, again, some people want to put in there the soul, because animals have souls as well. So, and when we know
I think it should be looked at and looked at this.
Yeah.
The 7 principles. I think it should be looked at when you start reading them out and think.
Yeah,
I think SNU ought to think about it.
Well, all people, because I mean the SNU have adopted these, but they are used by others as well. Personal responsibility is a really important one.
It is a big one.
It's a huge one. Compensation and retribution hereafter for all good or evil deeds done on earth, and the eternal progress open to every soul, I will say, because it's not just human souls. Every soul. And Anne-Marie, yes, Jesus is the one and only Son of God. Jesus was a medium and a healer. This is why only Jesus gets mentioned. Sometimes, but then other times, I'm going to listen now, because
I have heard Father God mentioned, though.
I've heard Father God mentioned by Spirit.
Yeah.
By Spirit.
But I've heard mediums on rostrum say it, though. Some mediums will open in prayer with it.
Yeah.
Father God, love of all light. That's what they usually say. Our Father God.
For you. How did Jean get involved in spiritualism? How did she meet you and Irene?
Well, I got into spiritualism, like I said once before, when my mum passed away when I was 12. And my dad went to a spiritualist church because he said he'd never go back into the Catholic church ever again. So I've been fetched up with spiritualism from being 12, and that's how I've progressed. But Tony, about 8 years ago, stepped into a church where I was president of about 8 years ago. And I gave him a message and I said, you should be doing this. And we've been friends ever since because now he is doing it. Irene came along to an open circle we ran because she had lost her confidence in working with spirit. So at this time, me and Tony took her under his wing. And Irene now is working as a medium once again, which is brilliant. So that's a quick answer of how we've met and how I became a medium.
It was.
I hope that's answered your question.
Oh, excellent question. Oh, no, that's not a question. That's Claire responding to my husband. Maybe a sensitive one, but if you unfortunately lose a baby in the womb, how is it the other side? Like just spirit or look as something? And I think I know what you're asking here, Crystal. Do you want me to start, Jane?
Yeah, you can do.
Right. If a baby passes in the womb, it does transition. It goes across. It is collected by family and taken over to the other side. And I know we say we have babies in spirit and they grow up, but when we transition, we lose the physical form, and it's the physical form that grows. The soul, this energy, the spirit, whatever you want to say, is part of the divine, and energy hasn't got an age as such. So for mediums, when a baby or when a soul has transitioned as a baby and it comes back, it presents in a way that the recipient, the parent, or whoever it is that it's coming back for, will understand. So it will come back either as a baby. So that's how we get there's a baby lost in spirit. Or it could come back as the age it would be now.
Now, yeah.
So if a baby transitioned, say a baby passed 3 years ago.
5 years ago, yeah.
3 or 5 years ago, a medium will see a child of that age. So they do transition over, but all energy is just energy, and it has no age, which caused a right ruckus for somebody when a medium said, of course, babies, there are no babies in the spirit world, when what he was trying to say was energy, spirit have no age as such. So and it got all messy, but there we go.
Yeah, I can remember that.
A baby, because we had a stillborn son, he would be about 25, nearly 26 now. And he used to come back as a child, but now he comes back as he would be now. And do you know, he looks a lot
as an
like
adult.
Ben. He looks
I can
like
believe
Ben.
that.
He looks exactly like Ben. It's scary. So I hope that answers your crystal question.
Your questions.
Your question, Crystal. If it doesn't,
and I just
go on, Jane.
I just agree with what you've said, Tony, because we always say you've lost babies in womb, like the question, and yeah, they have come back to me as the would be at the age, the would be if they'd stayed on the earth plane, and that's how I've seen them. But then sometimes they've just come back still that baby in womb. It all depends.
I've had granny bring the baby back
in arms,
holding the baby in arms, even though
in arms.
The mum or whoever it is will say, "Oh gosh, that was 30 years ago,"
but they still can be nursed in arms.
Yeah, so it just
baby
depends.
In arms.
It's the same. I know I'm going on to a different subject here, but it's the same as when somebody has transitioned. We sometimes see them. They may have been in their 90s when they transitioned, but they come back
younger
to
sometimes,
their loved one as they would be when they first met. So spirit just present themselves in a way that person will understand. So I hope that helps, Crystal.
Because we've seen them younger when they've passed in the 90s and they've come back in perhaps the 40s where they've looked brilliant and their hair black and that. So fair. I can't see it, but
Scott says, do insects have souls if animals and humans have souls? Any living creature has a
I was
soul.
going to say, I would have thought so, yeah.
I mean, I've never had a fly or a spider come back.
No, I haven't, but
But I would imagine every living creature has soul energy. And I do agree with Paul. Scott, it's all right. When you swat flies, they're not going to come back and haunt you.
I was just going to say that when you squashed it, it's not going to come back and say, well, you've squashed me.
No. Suzanne thinks it's lovely that we have this special friendship. I think people are meant to be along our life's journey. I'd have thought you were friends for longer than 8 years, the way we are together. Yeah.
We're like brother and sisters.
Suzanne, it feels like forever, love. It feels like forever, believe me.
I've been away with Tony for a couple of days, 3 days, and my stepmom came along as well. And I actually met Lisa, what's her surname? Lisa Walker for the first time while she was on holiday. And her husband, she came down to Tony, and she actually said that we're no different in person as we are on screen. She says we're still as mad as a box of frogs, basically.
Yeah.
We're no different. And she thought we'd probably been together longer.
Yeah, as friends, not together.
No, really as friends.
And are the... Hang on, Eva, I need to put that up on screen. And are there reborn old souls? Because I've seen those. But I know what you're saying, and let's not all get into that whole reincarnation debate because it can get ugly. But I saw a child today who is an old soul. I've seen him. He was running around and playing while I was having a cup of coffee with his old lady granny. And he is an old soul. That kid's been here before. But I wouldn't necessarily say he's been reincarnated. I just think he's come back more he's come to the earth more advanced.
Yeah.
I've seen children where you think, they've been here before or they've been around the block.
We think ourselves, though, because I remember when I was younger and I had to ask my big sister who's having problems at the minute, because I said to her, and I could describe it, that I'd slept in this house next to the railway, and this railway was so-and-so, and this house was so-and-so and everything. And I said, but I can't remember ever doing that. And Adult says, no, I can't. But yeah, I can remember staying in an house next to a railway, looking out of the windows and waving to people on train track. And I'm waiting to ask my mum and dad this. And I were about, my mum must have been alive at the time, or she passed. I'd probably been about 10, 11, and I can remember it as plain as anything. But Adult said she can't. But I can. So I don't know.
Yeah. Ooh, is a soul and spirit the same thing? For me, they are.
Yeah, I would say so.
They are. Because it's the soul is the essence of you, which is spirit. I think it's just the way people express it. The soul is in your body, and when you've passed, when your physical body passes, the spirit. People say it's then spirit, but for me, basically,
I think it's both. I'd say basically both.
But you don't, Michael says, but you don't get flies and spiders coming back because who would want to pass that message on?
I've seen you squat a fly last week.
Yeah, you squashed me last week. Can you feel other family members' pain or feelings when they're still here?
I think so.
Yeah.
A lot say only twins can, identical twins, but I can feel some pain from my family and that.
Yeah.
And I bet you can, Tony, because going similar things with Dad.
Yeah.
So we are feeling the pain and the hurt.
I want to say this might be a really convoluted way of explaining it, but I'm very, very empathic, and so is Jean, which means we can link to living people's energy, which then means you feel that pain,
The pain and the
especially
hurt.
emotional pain. Emotional
Yeah.
pain and emotional hurt is what I feel.
Yeah.
I do
The same
sometimes
here.
feel when Jean was really, really poorly with her kidneys, I had a lot of pain across my back because we are really close and we're really linked. So,
And you felt my pain, well, at minute, because I'm having all this. But even you felt it for me, Tony. You've said, I feel for you. And that's an expression that we say.
yeah,
Because you know what I'm going through and you're there to help me. And,
yeah,
you know, we
it
perhaps might talk to
is.
my family, but I can talk to you and Michael.
Well, like today, I know she won't mind me mentioning it.
No,
Jean's daughter's going through a lot of stuff as well. I mean, she's got a similar problem. Actually, it's the same disc that's gone, isn't it?
I think it is, yeah.
So the sciatic pain that Amy feels is the same pain I feel. And today I walked into the kitchen because Amy was making a cup of tea, and I just knew she needed a cuddle. I just knew she needed a cuddle.
Yeah.
I just got hold of her. And then she burst into tears, and I thought, oh, God. No, I didn't. I just gave her a big hug. But I just
She
knew.
needed it, didn't she?
I knew she was in pain emotionally and physically, and she just needed that cuddle. So, yeah, you can. Yeah, you can feel other people's pain. And not just family members, but people in general.
Yeah.
You feel the pain. That's why personally I had to not to leave Crew's bereavement care, because I couldn't disconnect,
It's not an easy
and
thing to.
it drained me. Yeah, Michael's talking about reincarnation. I mean, it's a rabbit hole, like Michael says, because if everybody's reincarnated, who are we talking to?
Yeah,
So
that's
I'll
true.
leave that one there, because Anne-Marie has picked up a really good point. And can I start this one, because
Can
I
you
asked
just
the
read
same.
it out, because I can't see it very well? Can you?
I can't help but wonder why God would take a baby. My son was stillborn, and I've always believed in our Lord God and his son Jesus, but I just don't understand why, if God loves me so much, he would take my baby and cause such heartache. Can I
Well,
answer this?
you can answer this, but can I just say, at the moment, the testing my faith, because me and our Amy said today, what have we done wrong? What have we done wrong? We've lost so many of the family in so short a time and it is testing my faith, thinking, come on, give us a break.
I know.
You know, how much
I know.
more? Because there's been me bad, there's my brother, and now this with my sister and my auntie and everything else. And I've got to say, I can empathise with some of this, because I'm just thinking, well, when do I get my break? When do I get a break from it all? And it is testing my faith, I've got to be honest.
Yeah.
I'll never leave my faith. I'll never leave it, but it is testing it.
It is. It does. It does. And I went through the same thing, Anne-Marie, when we lost our son. And it's one school of thought is we go to spirit when we've done everything we need to do in this earthly journey. So if your baby was only meant to experience being conceived and being carried for so long in the womb, then that's what they learn, and that's when they return to spirit. Somebody might take 70 years to learn everything they needed to learn and then go to spirit. But the other side of that is, illnesses and things aren't created by God. They're man-made, or they're just nature. These things happen. God isn't in the illness as such. God isn't in the cancer. God isn't in the
No, I know
kidney
what you're
failure.
saying.
God doesn't create the kidney failure. It's our body letting us down. COVID is a virus, airborne virus that we catch, and it makes us ill, and some people pass from it. And I'm not just saying this about DOT. It's a pandemic that's happening now.
No, I agree with you, Tony. It's just like I've just said.
Where God comes into that is God and Jesus are there in how we react to that, how we cope with that. They give us. Nick says it at the end of his prayer every night. Every night when he does his services, he says, "Father, when the road is hard, we ask not that you move the mountain, just please give us the strength to climb."
Yeah, we can't blame God and that. It's just and Jesus, but it just gets to you a little bit. But I know what you're saying.
It does,
100%.
and it does rock your faith. I mean, when I found out my dad was so poorly, I'm sorry if you're still watching, Dad. I might get upset. And we learned that his time on earth now had a limit to it. I said, why? Why have you done this?
Yeah.
You know, I've only just been ordained and things, and now you're saying this. I don't understand. So it's, it is. It's just that is where it's how we react to those situations, whether we turn to God and faith or we turn away from God and faith, is where I feel that.
I'll never turn me back because it's not.
I can't now. I can't.
I'll not turn me back.
I feel such a close relationship to God and to Spirit now. And I know, I mean, if you just look at it, Jean, your dad, if at all possible, he wouldn't be letting Dorothy go through what she's going through now.
No, this is what I'm saying.
Or your Paul, or any of them.
No, if they could stop it, they would. It's just, it's impossible.
You do, don't you?
It's out there.
Oh, for goodness sake. It's like if you had a boss in a factory and he just kept chucking stuff at you, or if things kept happening to you, but hang on a minute, you know, what's happening?
Yeah.
But,
I'm just glad it has tested my faith, but yet I'd never leave my faith because I'm so into my faith that I do know that I'm going back to see him one day. So I know if my auntie, I know when she's going to go, and I don't bless her, I hope she can fight this, but hospitals say no, not yet. But I know that one day we're all going to be back as a family. So that keeps you going with that faith. And that's what I've got to think. So in the other hand, I am glad I've got my beliefs and I've got my faith.
Look at our friend Wayne.
Yeah.
He was not frightened at all, was he?
He wasn't. No.
I mean,
he says, I'm ready. He said, I'm ready.
He was riddled with cancer and he just got through it, didn't he? He was just
he said, I'm ready.
I'm going home. I know I'm going home. I'm not scared. I know I'm going home.
And he wasn't scared one bit.
No. And I have to say, I found, since I've come into this faith, spiritualist funerals are not like any other funeral I've ever been to.
They're nice, aren't they?
We just celebrate the person that's passed, and we know that they're there in the crematorium or the church or wherever, with us, and they're like, don't be crying, I'm only here, you know.
Well, I know we've just gone on about Wayne quickly. We went on about Wayne on what he said, and I'm not getting no surname out, so nobody will know. But Wayne wanted someone to put the hand through the curtain with a white glove on and say, that's all, folks, because that's just the person he was. And one of the members of his family said, no, she thought it was disgraceful can't have it, we can't have that, we're not having it. And I did the little reading what he wanted me to read, which was a poem. And at the end of it, what did I say? I put my hand up, waved at everybody and said, it'll be all right, folks. And that's all for now. That were it. That's all for now.
Yeah.
Yeah. And his sister said it. His family was a bit distraught about that. But that's what Wayne wanted. And all the other church, everybody else were in uproar because that's the new Wayne and that's what he wanted. He wanted that upliftment and everything. And he even said, if you wanted a sandwich or a pint, you paid for your own. Because he says, I'm not paying for wake. He says, I don't want one. So if you want one, you pay for your own.
He wanted his money to go to charity, didn't he?
Yeah. He says, I'm not paying for it. He says, you can go and have a sandwich and a pint yourself, but not on me. That's because his money went to charity. And that's what I think, that's what we like, because we know this is us.
I know you just accept it, Dad, but it's hard sometimes.
Hello, Dad.
Crystal, you're right. It's just easier to sometimes cope and place the blame, but it's just what we do. Daniela asked, she said, it may sound silly, but she feels an energy of a man downstairs and it makes her worried to go down. Daniela,
have you tried asking him why he's there? You tried talking to him? Try talking to him. There's nothing to be scared of. He might be just watching over the house. You might be new in his home and him saying, you know, what you're doing and having a little look around, see if what you've altered and everything. Try talking to him. You might get shocked and he might just have a little conversation back with you. But if he's not doing any harm and not scaring you, then
she says she's worried about it, but he won't hurt you. He really wouldn't hurt you.
Be having a nosy.
Suzanne's just put a good point. She's just said it's a bit like all the bad things in life that happened to you, horrible at the time, but after many years you look back and you know that they happened for a particular reason. Suzanne says she wouldn't change all the hurt because of the good that came after them.
It's made her a stronger person, isn't it?
Yeah. We just were talking about that at the caravan with Pat about all of the horrible things that have happened in my life and my family's life, Michael's life, since I've been with him. I now look back at that and think, but without having experienced that, I couldn't minister to certain people because I wouldn't have had the experience. I wouldn't know what to do.
So it does help that in some ways. I know it sounds silly, but it does make you a stronger person.
It does. It makes you a strong. And Daniela says, how does she know the difference about whether he's just... Yeah, ask him and he will talk to you.
Don't be afraid, ask. If he's not done anything up to now, he's not going to do anything. You probably decorated something, you might think you don't like it, or he's having a look around how you've changed house and that, and then it might be someone who's in your family, but you don't know, so he's come round to see how the family's doing.
Yeah.
Look at it that way, but if he hasn't done anything, he's not going to do it.
Yeah.
He's probably a member of your family having a look round to see if everything's okay.
Pull your mic away from your throat.
Why?
Because it's resting right against your throat and it's echoing through your throat. And
is it?
Strange. Yeah, it's fine now. It's just...
Oh, I didn't know. Sorry.
Yeah, it's okay. I was just saying. But...
not technical.
Yeah. No. It's the thing you've just had hold of, that's your microphone. And it was just, as it gets to your throat, you see, because your voice box is in there, it's picking the sound up
I should hope it is and not in my feet.
He just watches you. He's just curious. You've probably moved into his house or something, and he's like, "Oh, way up."
I remember your family what's not seen you, and they're just coming to have a look round.
To have a nosy and say, "Oh, she's I like that." Yeah. Oh, I hope they don't come into my house because I need to wipe the walls and things. I've got webs, the ceiling.
Thing is,
Oh,
Tony, you could give him a paintbrush, couldn't you, love, and say, if you're coming to see me, well, I want this paint and I need my bathroom doing, and you're not
yeah.
coming without a paintbrush.
No, exactly. He's probably just a strong energy. Daniela says he feels intimidating. He's probably just a really strong energy.
If you don't like it, Daniela, then you've got, in an assertive way, just ask him to leave then, sweetheart.
Yeah.
Just tell him that you aren't ready for
Be
him to be
strong.
there, and could he leave? Be strong, be assertive but not angry, and just say you don't like it. Would he mind leaving you?
Let's face it, Daniela, if it was somebody that's walked into your house and you didn't like them, you would ask them to leave. So
That's what I've
spirit are
always
just
said.
the same. Spirit are just the same. You just need to ask them to leave.
Yeah, that's all. Just ask them to go.
Anne-Marie, I've got more than a huge pile of ironing, darling. I've got about 3 huge piles of ironing. And I would gladly pay somebody to come and do it. Okay, Crystal, you're asking some really good questions tonight, Crystal. You know, if somebody's depressed or, God bless, takes their own life, are they at peace when they've passed?
Yes.
Definitely.
Some people used to say they'd be judged because they've took their life. No, they're not judged. It's an illness. There's reasons, and people don't look at that. So yes, they are at peace. There's none of that anymore. They're free of all that pain and suffering.
Mental health is just the same as physical health. So it's like a cancer or something. And the minute a cancer patient takes their last breath, they're out of pain, they're out of discomfort. It's the same with mental health issues. So when a person, even if it's through their own hand, draws their own breath, the last breath, they're out of pain, they're out of depression. It might be what I always say, Crystal, and this might sound daft, but if somebody has a traumatic passing, they sometimes get a little bit of extra help. Like a murder victim. They get a little bit of extra help and support. Some people say, oh, they go to a hospital, and I've never heard that myself. No spirit has ever come and said, oh, I have to go to hospital. But you sometimes just get that little bit extra support when you transition.
Which
so
you
it can
need,
take you a little bit longer to orientate yourself and to, if you excuse the pun, find your feet. I know they don't have feet necessarily when they go over to the world of spirit, but to find their feet and to come to terms with what's happened to them.
With everything what's happened.
There's no difference at all.
They're not any different to anything.
The only ones that for me are different are the really evil people. They get really intensive support. I always say the world of spirit's like a tower block, a skyscraper.
And you build your way up.
People like Dennis Nielsen, we were just watching that the other day, and Jack the Ripper and all these people. They're in the basement stoking the furnaces to warm the rest of the building, but then they move up.
They gradually build up.
Yeah. Anne-Marie, actually, yes, I have.
I've had a young girl come through.
I've had a young
not far from me, and she was actually murdered.
Yeah.
And she came through, and you'll know I'm talking about, Tony, because it's somewhere we're going to. And it is difficult, but they still want to come through and let the loved ones know that they're okay and they're being looked after.
Yeah, and I've actually had them say to work through it, and The spirit
Is it
I'm
happening again?
thinking of, the young chap I'm thinking of. No, you're fine. They hold no malice against the person who took their life. They're just okay, aren't they?
It's us down here. What's
That holds
you know,
the pain.
yeah.
So they do, and they don't hold any ill will over there. Yes, they like justice to happen. Who wouldn't? I mean, but
We would.
if it hasn't happened, it hasn't happened. And when you're in the world of spirit, you don't hold on to these things. It's like you just leave it.
It's us, isn't it? It's us what hold on to everything.
It's the families that
I want things dealt with, and I can understand this.
I can.
Because we'd be the same if somebody did this to one of ours, then we'd want justice. We'd want to find out what they're going to do, and are they going to be locked up and throw away a key and everything. But the person what's happened to, then they are okay, and like Tony's just said, they're with the family. Yeah, it's not nice that it's happened that way. We're not saying it is, because it isn't, because it's taken away from them. Yeah. And that's what it is. The life's been taken from them. And if that hadn't happened, they would still grow and do whatever they wanted to do. Yeah. You know, so we still all feel bitter about that.
How many times have we heard people say, why don't they come back and tell you who did it?
Yeah.
And it's because when they're over there, they're beyond it.
Plus, Tony, if somebody ever did, we couldn't say anything anyway.
Well, I wouldn't.
We're not police. We're not crime. We're not all this, that, and other. So how would we know? Because we don't.
No.
So it'd be something I wouldn't do, and I wouldn't be happy doing it anyway.
No. And if somebody was doing it on one of my feeds, I would stop them.
Yeah.
Sorry. Shane says, God wouldn't give you the tools to expire, but he helps you and stands by your passing. That's so true. That's so true. Okay, where was the next one? I've seen it. That was the one I was going to pick up. Lots of groups and people on Facebook say if you commit suicide, you're forever outcast. No. That's a definite no. Because you're not. You're not. Like we've just said, it's mental illness and
it's evil. It's another disease, isn't it? Mental illness. It's another disease. It's horrible. Horrible.
Daniela says, can spirit come through and let you know about danger?
I would have. Personally, if they come to me, I'm sorry, but we don't predict, and I wouldn't say anything because they wouldn't say that. I don't believe that. I might be wrong, but I don't believe they would say that.
They might come and...
They might give you little things saying, don't climb 2 steps, you might fall down 1.
Yeah.
You know, they have done that, but I don't think they'd ever tell you.
Be careful of people in your social group or something if they know somebody's having a go or having a dig about you. But I've never had them come through and say, "Oh, you know, somebody's going to try and." No, I've not heard it. It might, but
it might.
It wouldn't be.
I've just had the little.
Go on.
It's just been the basic things like we've just said, Tony. You know, watch out for a certain friend, or don't climb that ladder, you might fall down, because we have said this, you know, and watch your carpet and stuff like that. But we haven't actually said anything too drastic because I don't think we'd get it that. But some mediums might, I don't know.
No. Have we ever heard of those mediums that solve murder cases? Is it true or just televised?
It's a funny one. I don't know how to answer that, to be honest, because some mediums do believe that they have done it, and I do know of a couple that have actually helped police.
Yeah,
with the without mentioning names,
No,
but because I can't, but I do know a couple what has actually helped the police, but they haven't solved the murder, but they have helped them where it could be, or how, or this.
I know of mediums who have been shown where somebody's body is
Yeah,
because they wanted their mum to bury them. So I know a couple of mediums who have taken
I've done
mediums
that.
to
Take
where
them
their
to
body
where,
is,
yeah,
but not which. By the nature of they found the body, they found DNA evidence that helped to find the killer.
yeah,
But that wasn't the reason they did it. It was so that their mum could find some peace
could find some peace, yeah.
after laying them to rest.
But I do
But
know of a couple of mediums that have helped the police. And I'm going to say helped the police because without all these forensics and all this, that, and other, you
it
still
wouldn't.
can't.
No,
No, still
they
need that
haven't
help
solved
and
the
that support.
murder. They've just led them
No,
to different things,
to
haven't they?
give them some things, yeah.
Yeah,
That's true.
we haven't. Michael, he says we haven't covered the duplicate body.
Oh,
Go. Because some churches do say that over in the land of spirit, the world of spirit, the realm, whatever you want to call it, there's a body waiting for us to go into that matches the body we've got here. I've
don't know.
never heard it. What I've had from spirit is that they don't need a body. They are spirit, soul, energy. So it's something I have heard. It tends to come from the old school mediums
Yeah, I
from
know what
way
you're
back
saying.
when, but I don't think it's something that up to date modern mediumship do or say.
Because even that's changing now. Mediumships and how
It
it's
is,
changing over
and
years.
it needs to. It needs to, but I think it's because we see things in terms of how we can think about it, because I think that the thought of just being encompassed in the divine energy when we go back to spirit is beyond what we can think about. So we tend to think about things in terms. It's like when we're getting messages from spirit, Jean, they give it to us in the terms that we understand.
Yeah, that's true.
So I think that's where that's come from when we think about um, the realm of spirit and we wanted to explain it, we put it in terms of, not we, but,
Yeah, well,
medium spiritualists.
they do, yeah. They help
Yeah.
us.
Yes, Doris Stokes did a lot of help with police cases and locating bodies and things in her
She
time.
did do a lot of help, yeah, she did. And so did a
And
lot of other really good mediums out there. Colin
talking
Fry
about,
did.
yes, Colin Fry did. Tony Stockwell has.
John Edwards.
Yeah, John Edward. Talking about books, says Suzanne Symes, I've got a copy of Mitch Albom's book, The Next Person You Meet in Heaven. I've just read 5 People You Meet in Heaven, and I know that's the next one. Tuesdays with Maury is a wonderful book as well, if anybody wants to read something really depressing. And no, it's a somebody dies and goes to heaven, and you meet 5 people. It's not going to be a bundle of laughs, but it's a really interesting, fascinating book, and I loved it. Absolutely loved it. And Tuesdays with
Good.
Maury is a wonderful book too. So I'm having a laugh, Suzanne, because it is about somebody you meet in heaven. So you've obviously died, and it's like,
I should hope
it is.
so.
It's a beautiful book, absolutely beautiful book. I think we've covered everything that's been asked. I can't see anything else we've missed as I'm scrolling through. Sorry, that's what I'm doing, just scrolling through the comments to see if I've missed anything. We answered that one. I did see Scott say something about he doesn't want a duplicate body like the one he's got because it's falling apart.
Oh, ask for a new one, Scott, and ask for one for me.
Yeah.
I want to come back nice and slim and, well, like my auntie, I've got to just say, my aunties, they've only got a week's to live, and Tony knows because it's a joke. She's asked me if I'd dress her when she passes away. This has been going on for years. And she wants dressing in a nice wonder bra with chicken fillets in, suspenders, stocking, best knickers on, and a nice dress, because she says she wants to meet a nice fella when she gets over there. So there you go. So she might meet a nice fella. And she says, I want to look my best. She says, I want to look my best. Well, it not matter what she's wearing, but at least I know I've done what she's asked.
Yeah, exactly. I want a body cross between Brad Pitt and maybe who? Oh, I don't know. I'll have to think about that.
Tony, you've got to think, love. We're just like Mrs. Doubtfire. Nobody knows when we take this off at night, we're what we want to be.
Yeah.
I just unzip my clothes, take them off, and I'm a dolly bird.
Yeah. Crystal, can what happen, sweetheart? Do you meet new people in the spirit world? Yeah.
Well, why not?
When you think of everybody that has passed before you and you are returning to the divine energy, meet who you want. You don't necessarily have to go back to the family that you've been with. You can see them, but then you can go off and see other people as well.
See other people. It's like my auntie, she's going to go looking for a new fella.
You do. You see all the people that have passed, but when you think about it, there's a lot of people who don't really get on with the family. So,
well, I asked a question, and I'm a medium, but I had to ask a question once to another medium. What if somebody's been married twice, right? Or would they go to the first wife or husband or the second? And the answer I got back is whoever they choose. Because it's true. You know, you don't want to go to two wives if it's a man and them fighting, or vice versa. But I got told to go to the one who they choose to go to.
Yeah.
I suppose they don't push the other one out the door, but because I had to ask the same thing. So there's nothing silly to ask. And I'm a medium, but it was something I wanted to know.
Yeah. So it's, I mean, your energy when you go, like Michael says, I think in the world of spirit, it is whatever it is you want to be. You know, it's... Crystal says, nah, you can't get up there and your fella's met somebody already. Crystal, would you... But if you look at that the other way around, Crystal, if you're here and your loved one's passed away, you would go out and meet people and socialise and maybe find somebody you quite like that you don't mind spending a bit of time with. Just saying.
I'm fetching it up because obviously my dad passed away, my mum's passed, right? My dad remarried. And my question was, at the time, I'll say it out, my question was, well, will we go to my mum or
his
my
wife?
stepmom?
Yeah.
And I want my dad. And a medium says to me, he'll choose. But my dad's going to my mum. I know my dad's gone back to my mum.
Jean said so. Yes. It's got to be. Evelyn, that's true. The spirit realm is where anything is possible and plausible.
Yes, that's true. True.
It is. Well,
it might want 6 wives.
Uplifting chat tonight. I have thoroughly
You've helped
enjoyed
me
it.
out a lot. I've got to say, you've helped me out tonight. Not giving messages because my head's all over, but just talking has helped. And some of the questions has been brilliant.
They have, and they've been different to we've been asked before. It's been absolutely amazing. I have thoroughly. Go on then. One last one, Crystal. I'm waiting for it. Crystal, you'll have to get the bus up to San Lamia or meet me in Withersea, and we'll have a coffee and a chat. And if Jean's down, and we'll all get together and have a chat.
Well, if you arrange it, then I'll see if I can get down. If you can arrange when you're going.
Because Michael and I will be down there. So yeah, we'll arrange one night when Jean's there as well, and we'll
When
all
I
meet
can
up
get
for
there,
coffee.
yeah.
And we'll have a nice coffee. So come on, ask you one last thing. So if I moved on down here, but I want to go back to the person who's passed, whatever, anything's possible up there.
It's up to you,
over there
sweetheart.
in the world, Crystal. And
It'd be up to you.
And I think it's just a case of we all can be with everybody because we are all part of one divine energy. So, yeah, there you go. So, we will have a service.
Irene wants to know if you're having one tomorrow. It's bank holiday, so she wants to know what you're doing.
Let me have a look at the diary and things. It is bank holiday, actually.
So she should be there if you want one tomorrow.
I might give it a miss tomorrow and have a rest, if that's okay with everybody.
Tony,
I'm really sorry.
It's fine by you because obviously I don't know if I'd have to dash off anyway. So, but I know you'd be all right anyway with that.
Yeah, we would. But we'll have a break tomorrow. But we'll do a service Friday, and then what have we got on Sunday?
We're out Sunday. We're out for the next few Sundays.
Yeah, we've got Ashby, haven't we? On Sunday.
I think September's Sundays. I think we're out more or less every Sunday.
We are actually, yes. Really sorry, but yes, we do seem to be out most Sundays in September.
But these have been booked, you see, since lockdown. So we said we'd honour it.
We will do the divine service and the healing on a Monday instead then.
Yeah.
So, really sorry about that, but Sundays are fully booked in September. But they have been planned for over a year. So we'll miss tomorrow, but we will do something on Friday. So can I ask us if you want close? I'll do the closing.
Do you want to close him, if you don't mind, Tony?
And you do the singy song.
All right, then. Okay. Thank you.
Great Spirit, Father, Mother God, thank you for the upliftment we've shared tonight. Thank you to each and every person who's tuned in to watch us. And thank you to the spirit world who have come through and supported us. Although we have not given messages tonight, Father, I know a spirit have been around to support and uplift us, to give Jean that extra bit of strength she needs for tonight and for all future nights until she knows what's happening with the family and the loved ones. Can I please ask for a special angel to go and stand beside the bed of Dorothy to help her through these next few days and hours and days, and to stand with Winnie to give her the transition energy that she's going to need over the next few weeks. Father, I now hand back to you everything which is rightfully yours, and I ask, when times are hard, as Reverend Nick says, we ask not that you move the mountain, but just give us the strength to climb. Until we meet again, may a guardian angel be with each and every person who has watched and who will watch this in the future. Amen.
Amen. Lord, keep us safe this night, secure from all our fears. May angels guard us while we sleep. till morning light appears. Amen.
Amen. God bless each and every one of you until we meet again.
Night, everyone.
God bless.
Night. Keep safe.